you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? Won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to briefly talk about our mental defenses and our fear of taking decisions that are aligned to the truth, that keep us in relationships of illusion. Okay? Hope that made sense. I guess this video is for people, but you'll be guided to this video if you're somebody who maybe the divine has been trying to, or has already illuminated the truth to you, but you have around certain relationships in your life, right? And illuminated a truth to you that requires you to make a decision. Requires you to make a decision that will align you and your reality to truth and not have you stuck in spaces and relationships that are illusions. Now, this could apply to friends, it could apply to family, could apply to your partners, relationships, right? Sometimes we pray for the truth. We pray for a way out. We pray and we ask, not even realizing maybe that you're praying in the background. Maybe certain relationships and things, have had you, because of the mental defenses you have up, because of your relationship programming, be it family relationship programming, family dynamic programming, romantic relationship programming, friendship programming, whatever it is that has you that tends to overrule the truth, right? Tends to overrule the decision process when you have to make a choice that is going to involve change, a choice that's going to involve you having to work through and push through certain experiences, events, and emotions that you anticipate might be coming with a choice that is aligned to the truth. Because if you're still very much living in a reality of illusion that you've created around the system programming for yourself, right? Your mental defenses have been created over time, and a lot of the time they're unconscious, right? But these mental defenses have you move into fear, have you move into dismissal, have you move into denial, have you move into procrastination, postponement, non-action, right? Trying to sweep things under the rug, not even realizing that aloud or consciously or even unconsciously, you might have prayed for some sort of illumination that has probably come to you, that has already been shown to you, that you're probably aware of, that you're probably experiencing and see happening in a dynamic, in a relationship. But your mental defenses and your fear of, making a decision that is aligned to the reality of a situation, making a decision that is putting you first, that is moving you out of a place of illusion, moving you out of a bad dynamic, because the truth is that it's an illusion. The truth is that it's a painful dynamic. The truth is that it's abusive. The truth is that it's dismissive. The truth is it's lacking integrity. Right? But your mental defenses, whatever the fear is of being alone, fear of having your reality shaken up, fear of certain events that you might anticipate coming by making a decision, fear of confrontation, fear of just having to work through and be calm and move through a period of what might appear in the beginning to be chaotic or chaos, or you might anticipate being chaotic or disappointing to other people on the outside. These are the things that strengthen you. These are the things that build you up. And if the divine has stepped in and shown you the truth of a situation, if the divine unbinds by illumination, you will be illuminated with the truth to help unbind you and move you into the path or into the situation or move you into a decision that you need to make. And yes, sometimes making the decision that's aligned to the truth is not an easy one. But it's one of the obstacles, one of the tests, one of the walking through the fire events in your life that you need to go through. And until then, you might find things slowing down in your life. You might find the divine blocking things. You might find things starting to dwindle. Because you're not in alignment for where the divine has your blessings waiting for you and aligned for you to meet once you make a decision and move away. Your fear, your attachments, your fear of emotions, your fear of disappointing people will keep you in a bad situation. And as interpreting everything in a way that has you being a victim, explaining things away, when really what you needed to do is align to the truth. If you've been illuminated to certain things about your family, if you've been illuminated to certain things about your relationship, if you've been illuminated to certain things about your friendships and the people you have around you in your life, and you knowingly, every single time knowingly, choose against the truth, choose against yourself, over time, especially once you know, because like I said, the divine only allows as long as ignorance is present. Once it is clear to you and to the divine that you're no longer ignorant and now it's a choice. You're choosing a path. And you're choosing the path of illusion. You're choosing the path of struggle. And if it's a prayer that's been answered for you, you're choosing a path that's against working with the divine and what's actually been designed for you to move forward. No one is entitled to an easy life. No one is entitled to a life without trauma. No one is entitled to a life that, doesn't have its challenges and things you need to overcome. But you get comfortable in your illusions. You get comfortable in your ideas of relationships and the illusions and the fantasies and the way they've romanticized all of these, these family and relationship dynamics to the population, especially in the Western society. That the truth about the relationships, the truth about intentions, the truth about the dynamics, the mental defenses come up and we dismiss them. We go into denial. We reject them. We become angry when people come around and shake our illusion of reality, or shake the illusion that we've decided is reality, that we've gotten comfortable in. Going against things that you've known for a very long time, but just refuse to want to deal with and admit. Building up an idea or an illusion of some sort of blowback or shame that you might have to subject yourself to in your external world. It's not easy to align yourself to the truth, but once you take the decisions and move your reality into, the truth, and not have it resting comfortably in chaos and illusions and abuse and exploitation and all that stuff that just is not for you, that doesn't align to what you actually deserve, that doesn't allow you to open yourself up and be receiving to the blessings that the universe has for you. Keeping people and situations in your life that might not align with who and what the divine has for you in your future after you take certain decisions. You're only holding your life and yourself up. You're holding your own expansion, your growth, and your blessings up. Because you're afraid to detach. You're afraid to let go what isn't meant for you. And then you take on other people's karma. You don't even know if the divine is trying to move you out of danger in the future. The divine is trying to save you and your stability and your finances, because the path that you're on, the path of illusion you're on, the people who you're aligned to have karma and things ahead of them that will also affect you and your future and affect you and your stability and your future ahead, right? Don't just see all these things in isolation. There's always a bigger picture that is at play and unfolding, bigger than what we want to just have our minds focused on, the emotional and the details of the experience on the outside. Wanting, loyal to things that are not meant to be. Taking on people and situations and responsibilities and whatever it is that are not for you to take on. Okay? So don't keep yourself stuck in situations. Try and recognize where you have mental defenses up. Try and recognize where you're combative towards situations and people who might be trying to illuminate you to the truth. And when I say combative, I'm not saying in a dramatic way. But maybe you're resistant to taking in the truth. Maybe you're resistant to just aligning yourself and wanting to actually just accept something as the truth. Maybe you've been shown. Maybe it's come up in your spirit and your gut over and over, or been hanging with you for years. I don't know, there's a while ago I did there was my channel, there was a scenario that came up about somebody who might have a child that is not theirs, right? Things like that. Those are difficult things to have to work through, difficult truths to have to face, but situations that are also designed to develop you, situations that are designed for you to overcome, not to become complacent and not to become, and that's just an example, but not to allow those situations to bring you to your defeat. Not to allow those situations to rob you of your entire life ahead because your fear would rather have you strap yourself to an illusion. Your ideas of loyalty and your distorted ideas of family dynamics that you probably have just taken on and decided to see as true from things on the outside, and you'll find that your own family dynamic that you come from hasn't even taught you those things. So sit with yourself for some time and, consider your mental defenses. Consider where you're afraid to actually look at the truth, to deal with the truth, and to make a decision that is actually aligned with the truth. If you have an abusive partner, and that's the truth of your relationship, but you're afraid to deal with the relationship because you've decided that, the stability, whatever it is the public might say, whatever it is under the sun, is what has become the master in the situation, and the reason why you would rather subject yourself to ill treatment, to restriction. Be real with yourself if you have, about your mental defenses when it comes to those kinds of things also. Because even in those things, you are blocking yourself from your blessings. If you're staying in a nasty situation because of, finances and stability and all of those things, and maybe there are other options for you to take that are outside of that nasty situation, but maybe they don't measure up to the lifestyle or whatever it is that you've become accustomed to, and decided to just deal with the ill treatment. The divine is not going to allow your heart to settle in that situation if you've already been illuminated to the truth. If you've already been receiving the nudges and the guidance to start making a decision and move the other way, it's going to start becoming unbearable. We're no longer going to be existing in a world where all these things, these programs and these, ego-driven things, materialistic things that overrule and override the truth, that restrict you, that bind you, that limit you, other people's emotions, other people's expectations of you, all of these things, we're moving into a vibration where you won't be able to hold it inside you anymore. You won't be able to tolerate it. And the more you fight it, the more you're bound to it, the harder your life is going to become. The divine will dwindle the finances of the person that you're attached to move you out of that situation. The divine will tear your life down if that's what it takes to move you out of a situation. Warning will always come before destruction, no matter what it is. It's only your awareness or your lack of awareness that will cause you to be in a situation where these things are a surprise. Your mental defenses, your ego, your refusal to see and deal with the truth, your refusal to act on the truth, your refusal to, move with where the divine is trying to move you. Those are the things that will have you, these events that happen in your life, or when things just blow up. Suddenly you're a victim. Suddenly it's a surprise. Suddenly it's everybody else's fault. Suddenly you don't want to admit anymore that, or recognize that you had the feelings. Recognize that the truth was shown to you. recognize that you're the one who was too afraid to release an attachment, to detach, to move into something new, to dissolve an illusion that you decided to solidify in your mind and your space as reality, right? So don't be afraid. Excuse me. Okay? And don't be afraid of chaos. Generally, when chaos is around, you sit still and you just observe. You wait for the storm to settle before you make any other movements or decisions. And sometimes the chaos you anticipate is really just your own fears and things in your mind, and the defenses that you have in your mental that are actually, pushing you away from making those decisions. You're your own enemy when it comes to those things, okay? So I hope this has resonated. I hope, it helps you take a little more seriously the things that are happening in your reality and your life, that the divine is trying to illuminate you to, trying to show you, putting in your face, that you just choose to put up with, because taking action on the truth might just, seem a little too stressful to deal with. Don't hold up your own life because you're afraid to make a decision. You're afraid to move. Okay. Some people just are not meant to be in our lives. Some people are just meant to be a season. And if you're attached to children that are not yours, and you're fully aware of it, things are gonna get hard if you don't start taking action, if you don't make the right decisions. Once the universe steps in, it's gonna feel like things are being ripped away from you. And it's gonna be way more than, you're gonna have to end up dealing with a lot more than the simple. I don't want to say simple, it's not simple, especially if maybe kids have been yours, or kids, or you've been under the illusion that a child or children are yours for an extended period of time. That's a lot to have to work through and deal with. It's painful. And then there's anger, and then it's your reality that's being shaken up. And then there's pain, and then there's having to deal with detaching, and having to rearrange life, and having to choose yourself. It's a lot to go through. But in the same breath, these events and things have been designed specially for us, to help us work through and awaken to certain things within ourselves. They're bigger than just the event, okay? It's going to teach you so many lessons. It's going to mature you. It's an experience you have to work through, and little small decisions to make at different moments in time. Don't blow situations and decisions up to the point of stagnating yourself. Because generally those big blown up decisions are not the ones that you need to make. It's little small decisions that inch you into what the outcome needs to be, okay? But you have to keep moving. So I'm gonna leave it there, okay? I don't know why the children thing is really being emphasized, but like I said, there are higher things at play. Okay. I'm going to pull a card today from the Miracle Cards by Marianne Williamson. Okay. And yeah, let's see what Spirit has to support our conversation or give somebody who's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Spirit, may I please have one card to support our conversation? Thank you. Let's do 2 men. Just one, please. Thank you. I got opportunity. Okay. So don't block your opportunities. Don't block your elevation. Don't cut yourself and your life short because you're afraid to release things and people. It's a lot to go through. Okay. I know. So the card says, our corner of the universe is our own life. Our relationships, our homes, our work, exactly as they are. Every situation we find ourselves in is an opportunity. What did I say? It may seem like a lot to deal with and a lot to get through, but none of us are entitled to a life without growth, to a life without challenges, to a life without trauma, to a life without having to work things out, overcome, and fire through our experiences. And it's things that are going to be difficult to deal with. Until you pass that mental defense, until you pass the barrier, until you move into courage and take a decision and bring your life into alignment with truth in whatever area it is that's being illuminated to you that is misaligned and not in alignment with truth, right? Maybe whoever you're attached to in certain family dynamics and friendships is not the most conducive personal energy that the divine wants around whoever or whatever it is they might be aligning for you in your future. Okay, some situations and things are placed into your life sometimes to save you from yourself. And when it's time for them to go, you need to overcome the stress that comes with releasing an attachment. Okay, some of those situations are put into your life to teach you things, to grow you. Think about what you've learned and what you're going to learn now, also overcoming it. What is it going to challenge within you? What aspects of yourself is it challenging? What fears is it forcing you to overcome? How is it strengthening you? Your growth comes within the discomfort, getting through the discomfort, raising your perspective to overcome what is difficult to deal with, to overcome your fear, to not always attach your perspective and your mind and your decisions to the worst case scenario. Okay. I'll start. Every situation we find ourselves in is an opportunity perfectly planned by God to teach love instead of fear. Okay, so that aligns really nicely with what we've been talking about. Don't see all these difficult things and challenges that your mental defenses, blow up into these big things. Take the situation for what it is. Overcome yourself, your emotions. Be truthful with yourself, and where necessary, be truthful with others around you. People will acclimate over time to the truth. Okay? But don't get comfortable having yourself and others in illusions and in realities that are just going to, to hold up illusions, you need more illusions. To hold up lies, you need more lies. Right? No matter where it is, in whichever area of life, it's just the reality of it. The divine doesn't want people perpetuating this because people have become normalized into it. People are normalized into being manipulated, so much so to the point that even when truth or authenticity comes along, their mental defenses interpret it as a threat, interpret it as something that can't be trusted, because you've been so acclimated to illusions and being manipulated in every single area. That's what they've systematically done. Okay, so find the opportunities in the situations that you find yourself going through. They're only for your benefit. It's your life. You've accepted these challenges and these situations before you came here. Okay? Because they were going to develop you, they were going to grow you and transform you and evolve you out of certain energies and things that you might have had, stuck within your field and within your own soul energy and energetic memory and soul memory from where you've come from before this incarnation. Okay, so don't curse situations, and don't see detachment as the devil. Detachment builds you up and makes you stronger. It makes you less vulnerable and less susceptible to being manipulated and taken advantage of. Okay, and it prepares you as well. If you're going through a process of detachment right now, it's preparing you for things in your future that you need to be able to deal with from a detached perspective, and not with the old paradigms of family and relationships and friendship dynamics and whatever it might be. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. Right, I hope it's resonated, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video, family. Okay, bye.